All right. Good morning, David. Thanks for taking the time out to jump on the call.
No problem at all. Good morning, John. How's it going?
Yeah, really good. Just to give a bit of background for everyone, David's been a Predictology member for a few years now. Reached out to me the other week to get a bit of advice on his betting setup, particularly while moving overseas, which I think is a topic we'll come on to later. But maybe we could kick things off. How long have you been with Predictology now?
Well, so I think since August 2020, and I had to
Hmm.
go check because I thought it was much longer ago, and then I had to check my emails to check when I joined. But yeah, back in August 2020, and then became a lifetime member 6 or 7, 8 months after that,
Fantastic.
after using the
Yeah.
platform.
Oh, that's definitely a good endorsement. And so your 3-year anniversary is fast approaching by the sounds of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And how would you say Predictology has changed or helped or improved your betting and your trading?
I think most of all, it's kind of given me a bit of focus
Mhm.
and all the sort of structure that comes with betting. Because I think before I might have been your kind of typical punter, putting bets on
Mhm.
what I think sounds about right. But now I actually kind of know exactly where I should be focusing where to bet. That's for my betting anyway. For trading, that's a relatively new thing for me.
Mhm.
Started learning it obviously within the kind of Predictology pro community last year.
Yeah,
And so whatever I got kind of from the betting side, the trading has then also kind of doubled that in terms of it's taught me.
that's fantastic. Yeah. And what would you say has sort of been your, I guess, favorite or most beneficial tool or aspect of the Predictology platform?
I mean, there's so much on there. I think my favorite parts of it are kind of AI generated kind of sheets that you get in the morning, the match
Mhm.
shortlists as well. So kind of alluding to that focus, knowing exactly where to go to.
Yeah.
And more recently as well, I think the value trades. So those are the first things I check in the morning.
Yeah.
And I think, of course, the big one is being able to actually automate everything. So having that connection into the Betfair kind of automation bot and stuff like that. That's the best part for me as well.
Excellent. Yeah. So, automated profits is always a good thing. Allows you to get more done. Um, So how often would you say you bet or trade? Is it every day or do you have certain times in the week that you're focusing on it?
I would say it depends on kind of my schedule. I tend to try to do it almost as often as I can, and the weekends are a lot more um, kind of full on. But the best thing is that if I'm kind of a bit more free in the morning, I can kind of log in, have a little look at what's going on, set some stuff up later in the day, or put it into the bot, for example, if I know I'm not going to be
Hmm.
around.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wouldn't be kind of every day for the sake of trying to, but if there's
Hmm.
value there, try to get it.
Yeah, of course, you got to take the value if you can find it. So would you say it's sort of a normal structure for your day is sort of logging into Predictology or getting the alerts and reports that come out? You sort of spend a bit of time running through that in the morning, see what opportunities are interesting or where the value might be in the market, and then either using the betting bot to automate that later, or looking at your schedule and sort of saying, right, this is the time that I'm available, and these are the matches that are interested for me.
Yeah, kind of that second one. I guess it's just checking whenever I can get on and do it. As you kind of mentioned there, though, I do have the Telegram notifications as well. So every now and then get those in play ones. And if I'm sat doing nothing else, that's a great little notification to go, hey, might want to have a look at this now and jump onto something, which had a few of those yesterday, which went really well.
Fantastic. That's good to hear. And so would you now say you're profitable with your betting/trading?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I think before I was probably okay before Predictology came along and it got involved. I think I was probably
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely now much more profitable. And yeah, I was kind of saying the other day, I think I'm actually impressing my friends a lot more with what I can show them.
Fantastic. Um, and what would you say? I think I can guess what the answer is going to be to this, but what would you say has sort of been the single most important change to your betting or trading that's influenced the success over the last few years?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've probably I mentioned the word I think maybe a few times already. I think that kind of
Mm.
understanding value,
Yeah.
and kind of having patience and having a bit of a plan. I think that's the thing that's been the biggest change, and it's kind of influenced my success in this because I think before you kind of go you might get a bit more disheartened with, oh, I'm not winning, I'm not doing this and that.
Hmm.
And probably for me, it was probably more like chasing huge accumulators and being like, well, look, it's a pound I could get 4 grand
Yeah.
from it, but some tenfold that never going to come through. And I think understanding where the actual value is and having the patience and a plan,
Hmm.
understanding that variance will come as well. But, you know, once you are able to take advantage of the value, then you know
Yeah.
you're onto a winner.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, I mean, those are all very, very important aspects. And it sounds to me that you've create a structure for yourself as well, like a process that works for you, so you can replicate that from day to day. You're consistent in terms of how you look at the markets, look for the opportunities, and then follow through on them. And I think that really helps um, with patience and the mental discipline. I think that's where a lot of people struggle if you're going on a whim or from this to that and jumping around. But having that structure makes it a lot easier to ride out the little bumps in the road over time as well.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Great. And I think this is sort of what sort of triggered this conversation. So, in our earlier chat, you mentioned that you had some big life changes, opportunities coming up, and Predictology had played a small role in that. Is there anything you'd be willing to share with us around that? It all sounds quite exciting from what you told me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, basically, I mean, I've got the opportunity now to move country and buy my first home. And basically, actually, take a small part. I think probably it was actually a significant part in that. Um, Being able to kind of, as we were mentioned before, automate all of the kind of provided systems that it gives, as well as the freedom to build your own. Basically, being patient with the right plan. I've now
Hmm.
found myself in a great position to do, yeah, kind of a move and a purchase, and yeah, take on a new chapter in my life, as you say.
Yeah,
So yeah, really looking forward to getting on with that. But yeah, that's the good news.
yeah. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. It sounds so exciting, but to think that also, by improving the way that you approach your betting and trading has been able to help in a part of that financial aspect of purchasing a home and moving countries. I mean, that's no small step for anybody, and I think I think just huge hats off to you, and congratulations with that. And it's really exciting. I can't, I look forward to hearing more as your new chapter progresses on that. So well done, really.
Absolutely. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
I think just a couple more questions I think would be interesting for the viewers. So, is there any advice or recommendations you'd give to someone that's new to Predictology, or even someone who's been with the site for a while, but maybe perhaps struggling with consistency, or making that moving that dial a little bit more into the profitable area of things?
Yeah, I mean, I think aside from kind of some of the obvious parts, I think probably top recommendation might actually be to kind of get involved in the community that we have, because and actually talk to members, yourself, or anyone else who's really part of that community. Because I think the things I've learned, both from yourself and other like-minded people in the community, are those are the kind of priceless parts. I can kind of say, have a good idea about bank management, have the right
Mhm.
mindset, do this, but actually you actually learn those by surrounding yourself by people who are good at those things and can
Mhm.
kind of impart that knowledge on you. So yeah, I'd sort of say, yeah, get involved, talk, ask for points and tips, and discuss.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm glad you mentioned the community. I mean, it's a relatively small community at the moment, but it's growing all the time. But I think what I like about it, it feels it's a really fun group of people. Everyone's very like-minded, very open, very transparent, and always willing to help each other. I don't think we've ever had a problem with negative comments or people putting other people down. I think it's been a very positive environment, and hopefully more people can come and join that community. And the more we have, the greater value it'll be for everybody involved, I think. So. I'll share some links for that with this video so people can find it as well. Um, and is there a particular type of person, or if anyone's thinking about sort of someone's talking to you in the street, or you mentioned your friends and who've been impressed, like what kind of person would you recommend Predictology to?
Other person. Well, I mean, I guess probably everyone. Probably sounds a bit cliche, but if you're betting on football, it will benefit you, because if you're not profitable, then
Mhm.
it's certainly going to be beneficial. And even if you are, profitable and you're doing well, it's only going to probably likely make that even better. So kind of a win-win for everybody there. And yeah, I think it kind of it's applicable to everybody really.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to hear. Like I won't keep you much longer, David. I really I know you're very very busy schedule at the moment, planning your move abroad. So we really appreciate you taking the time out and having a quick chat to us. But before we wrap things up, is there anything else you'd like to add or say about Predictology?
No, I mean, thanks for it's only really to say thanks. Yeah, I mean, you and the team created a great platform. It's really helped enable this new exciting chapter for myself. So, yeah, it's really just a thanks to you, team, community as well. And of course, with yourself introducing me to the world of so as well, which I think is another big impact on my football enjoyment and profiting from that as well. So maybe that's another chat for another time.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe just to say, yeah. So maybe just thanks for all of those things. Really,
Uh,
it feels like it's been a very quick 3 or so years as a member of this, but certainly been very impactful.
That's great. And look, and it's really great for us to hear. We try and build these tools and do things a little bit different to try and help people basically take the journey that you've taken, and it's always great motivation and encouragement for us to see our members doing that, and we hope to help many more over the years. And yeah, no, I really appreciate the feedback and the conversations we've had over the last 3 years, and so glad to see you doing so well. And we just wish you the absolute best for this next chapter. And we'll be chatting more in the pro community in the coming weeks and months, I'm sure. And yeah, as for Soraya, I think it's probably it is a topic for another time, but I'm always open for having a chat with about that as well, because it's a lot of fun and can certainly has benefits in terms of football knowledge and back and forth as well. So it's an interesting one. But yeah, once again, really appreciate you jumping in, having this conversation, and hopefully if it helps some other people with Predictology, I think all the better. So once again, thank you, David.
Absolutely. Thanks very much for it. Cheers.
Cool. I'll just stop that recording.